Welcome into Chasing Greatness with Jacob Phillips. I'm Reagan Ratcliffe, joined with Patriots head cross-country coach Jacob Phillips, Noah Joy, a senior from Atascocita, and Courtney Richman, a junior from Katy, Texas. Already one race is in the books, and hard to believe you had a chance last weekend to race in Arlington at the Joe Ritchie UTA Invitational, a race that was loaded with Division I talent. On the men's side, you knock off Baylor and TCU. Strong finish for the women as well, finished sixth. What were your takeaways from last weekend?
We've talked about having a young squad, and we wanted a chance to see where we were. We actually approached it almost like as a workout. It's local. We can get a meet in. We can get some of our young kids can get some experience racing. But, beat TCU and Baylor around here. You should get on a poster, sometimes. But, it was fun. I mean, Courtney and Noah both led our squads, and they ran really well and ran really strong. And that's what we were looking for from the whole team. And I think for the most part, that's what we got. I thought it was a great team run.
Now, you brought with you today two really of your veteran leaders. What can you say just in terms of the leadership that both Noah and Courtney bring?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I could talk a long time, and I think probably two different stories. But, Noah's a guy that runs 100 miles a week and, is really committed to that grind. And we call them mileage hogs, they always wanting more. And Courtney is not a lot different from that, but we don't do as much mileage, but she does everything well, and it was really cool. My wife, was at the meets and at a lot of practices. And like a year ago, Courtney was a sophomore and was kind of finding her footing as an athlete on our team and kind of figuring it out. My wife is like, that's your next leader. Like, she's in charge out there, and so it's been cool to see just both of them kind of grow into the athletes that they've become and the leaders that they've become. And I think both lead more from an example, setting the example than having to talk all the time. And, that's the purest way to lead is by example, right? And so they've done a tremendous job with that and with the young crew.
Yeah, Courtney, for you, junior season, 2 years ago, part of a team that went to the NCAA National Championships. You were really close last year. How big of a driving force is that for this team to try to work to get back to that stage?
I think it's huge because we've already been there. When I came in, the girls that were older than me were just a huge inspiration. They showed us how to do what we do, and I learned from them, which is what Coach has been telling everyone for 20 plus years. Hard work, great teammates.
Yep.
And so we've learned that. So the older girls are ready to lead the younger girls. And we just want to be close together in the race because that's how you win.
For you, I look at this roster on the men's side. There's a lot of freshmen. It probably seems like yesterday for you. You were a freshman.
Oh, yeah.
I look at also that roster, and there's so many guys that have been here for 4 years. You came in with that group. How tight-knit is that group, and what are the goals for the men's side?
Oh, we're so tight-knit. Like, it's almost we all have lived together from the dorms. I got great memories of housing probably doesn't like this, but like running back and forth between rooms, playing video games, like yelling about sports and stuff like that. And I mean, we're just tight-knit. We've always been close. And as for goals like this season, we just want to have that like payoff, For 4 years working hard together, we just want to like have one good last year where it all just clicks. And that's all you could ask for in the sport.
It's great to hear their description of the program. You've been at the helm 21 years. When you think about going back to day one and the vision of this program, the culture that's been developed through the years, what's at the heart of that?
Courtney said it, the hard work and the great teammates. I mean, I think that's we're built on development. We're not a program that's buying athletes. Like, it's not going to be an overnight fix every year for us. It's going to be taking those kids who want to be part of a team and want to be part of something bigger than just themselves and really trying to find the right work for them, like what works for Noah in training doesn't work for Courtney and vice versa, and trying to find how that works within a team setting. And I think we do a really good job of that. They talk about the tight knit, like if you go to our practice, like every one of our kids runs together. We're not, people out doing their own thing. And so anyways, I think it's all about the team. I think it's all about the hard work, and it's all about the development for us. And these are two great examples of that. And they're showing that to the younger guys and gals. And it's really cool when we have a really good freshman class on both sides. Men and women come in. I mean, we had freshmen score for us on Friday. But they're coming in and they're watching these guys, at a high level do this and say, that's what I want to do. I want to follow them. And so it's been really cool to see that. But that's the heart of it. Obviously everything we do at DBU is centered on Jesus, but through that, hard work, great teammates. And if you just keep doing that, you're going to be really successful.
I love to watch Coach Phillips on race days. I can imagine what it's like in practice. A high energy guy, a lot of emotion. But how does that encourage you when you're out there racing? When you go to College Station this weekend, you get ready to race down there. It's Texas A&M, a lot of Division I programs. What is it about him and the way he motivates and encourages you really that helps you power through on a race day?
Mostly, it's just the bought-in mentality. Like, I was a finance major. I'm a master's student now, but I'm big on like investing. And you will not find a better investor than Coach Phillips. And he invests in his athletes and invests in people. I think it's just the knowing that everybody plays their role and that we all are bought into the same purpose and the same goal. That's what you like. That's really what you lean into, and you see it from Coach Phillips out there. Everything is run together. Be a pack. We have this hashtag. It's hashtag group hunt because we're really trying to just like all hunt the same goals together. Yeah. So.
Yeah, my answer is pretty similar. I would just say coach's consistency. I don't think that you can find a coach that's always there and also wants to be there. Like he's going to be there on the easy run or the workout, and he's going to bring the same energy regardless because it's all important. In the summer, he wants to know how every run went because he really does care, and he'll remember what you tell him. And so when he's cheering for you, he's cheering for you as someone that has been there for every single part. He's not just showing up when it is important because it's always important every day.
We talk about cross country being a grind, and over the course of the season, what are keys for you in terms of training to keep a team as fresh as you can be? Because you want to be at your best. When you get to conference, we get to regionals, what's key both physically, mentally to be able to have their team peaking at the right time?
Right. I think the focusing on the team, obviously, right? You focus on yourself and that burns out pretty quickly. But, you know, because we practice at 6 a.m. I mean, it's every day. It's Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m., you know. And so when the team is the focus, you know, it's not as hard to get up, right? It's not as hard to be there.
That was amazing. Coach was talking about 100 miles in a week. Unbelievable. But you still, on a race day, you hit that, what we call that kind of that wall, that proverbial wall. How do you fight through that?
Again, it just comes back to that bought-in mentality. It's knowing that you're running for something bigger than yourself. You're running for that logo on your chest. You're not just going out there and competing for your own glory. You're running for ultimately God's glory, you know. On any given day, we have such a just good team that like anybody can step up and have a good day. So even if you're not feeling the best one day, you know that the guy behind you is feeling good and he's ready to rock and roll, and that gets you fired up. You want to rock and roll and fight through when it hurts. And I mean, that's just honestly what it does for me, you know.
How about for you, Courtney? Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, we work really hard in our program. We really do. And so when we step onto the line, we're prepared. We have the confidence that we did the work and that coach prepared us if we just did what he simply asked us to do. But you can get to that point in the race where it doesn't matter and your mind's like, I don't feel like it anymore. But what separates, you know, the good from the great is the people that are able to use their, you know, their passion to push through that. Yeah. It's just, you have to find something that you care about or you're not going to be able to get through that wall.
We've got another great competition in front of you this weekend. You were at Arlington last week against a lot of Division I programs. But now, once again, you go down to College Station to compete at Texas A&M. What are you hoping to see?
Yeah, I think just a step forward. You know, I think you know, our race plan is can we extend what we did last week? You know, like you know, the guys ran a 5K last week. They'll run an 8K this week, and so can they carry on that race plan that we had for 5K to 8K? You know, you had another what's essentially 2 miles. That's really hard. So can we extend that? And we train to do that. And then for the ladies, like we were really good through probably 2.5 miles of the, you know, 3+ mile race. Can we, now that we've got one under our belt, can we extend that to the full 3 mile or 5K in that race?
Yeah, it's an exciting time of year. Patriots running towards a conference title. It's a Texas A&M Invitational this week down in College Station on Saturday. For Coach Phillips and Noah Joy, for Courtney Richman, I'm Raiden Ratcliffe. This has been Chasing Greatness.